Welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into a fascinating story about India's gold and why it's coming back from the vaults of the Bank of England. Now you might be wondering, isn't this gold India's already? Yes, exactly. So why was it in London to begin with, and what's making India bring it back now? Let's dig into it. Let's rewind to the early 90s, a time of economic crisis in India. Back then, the government was strapped for cash and faced a dwindling foreign reserve, so the only option was to secure loans using its gold as collateral. They shipped tons of gold to London for collateral with the Bank of England, as well as other financial centers. It was a hard decision, symbolizing a tough era. Today, however, we're seeing a stunning reversal. India isn't shipping gold out, it's bringing it home. This isn't just about pride, it's about resilience, confidence, and a new global strategy. Just a few days ago, the Reserve Bank of India quietly moved another 102 tons of gold from the Bank of England to Indian vaults. To give you perspective, that's like transporting the weight of 20 adult elephants over thousands of kilometers, no small feat. With this recent shipment, India now holds around 510 tons of its total 855 tons of gold reserves within its own borders. So, why now? Well, for one, India's foreign reserves are stronger than ever, standing at a robust $688 billion. But it's not just about financial stability. Geopolitics is playing a huge role. Let's look at recent history. During the Russia-Ukraine conflict, we saw Western nations freezing Russia's foreign reserves held abroad. Overnight, Russia found itself unable to access nearly $300 billion of its own wealth. Then there's the story of Venezuela, whose gold reserves were locked up in the UK due to political disputes. These incidents are making countries worldwide reconsider their reliance on foreign vaults for their national assets. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. India isn't just relocating gold, it's buying more of it. In fact, between April and September of this year, the RBI bought 32 tons of gold, pushing India's gold reserves up to 9% of its total foreign reserves. Compare that with developed countries where gold makes up a much larger portion of reserves, like the US, Germany, and even Italy. And you'll see that India has ambitious plans to close the gap. To put things in perspective, the US tops the list with around 8,000 tons of gold. Germany, Italy, and France each hold over 2,000 tons. But here's a fun fact. Indian households. Indians are known for their love of gold, with households holding an estimated 27,000 tons. That's more than the gold reserves of the US, Germany, and France combined. But India's government is now in on the action too, stocking up on gold at a rate that might soon see it surpass countries like Switzerland in gold reserves. India's evolving gold strategy sends a strong message. It's not just about safeguarding the economy, but about positioning India as a financial heavyweight on the global stage. And it's a smart move. Gold isn't volatile, it's easily liquidated, and it's trusted worldwide as a stable asset, especially in times of crisis. By making these strategic moves, the Reserve Bank of India is signaling a commitment to economic independence and resilience. Here's where things get interesting. Just across the border, we're seeing what looks like a textbook play of foreign intervention in Bangladesh, with the US throwing its weight into Bangladesh's political arena. Washington has been vocal about ensuring democracy there, yet some speculate it's just another case of regime change, with potential long-term effects that could ripple throughout the region. And who's next on the list? If this political reshuffling keeps up, India might just find itself with less friendly neighbors in Bangladesh and Pakistan, and that's a risk that the Indian government doesn't seem willing to take lightly. By bringing its gold back, India is making a calculated move to secure its economic resilience, one that would be crucial if things get ugly in the subcontinent. India sees the writing on the wall. While its relationship with Britain is currently friendly, the world can change rapidly. India's leaders are proactively guarding against future uncertainties by ensuring that a significant portion of the country's wealth stays within its borders. This leads us to the next very real possibility. Could India be preparing for a conflict? With increased tension and diplomatic skirmishes involving both Pakistan and a volatile Bangladesh, India's leadership may be setting up a defensive or even offensive position. The RBI's quiet but consistent repatriation of gold could be India's way of hedging against a world where its assets might otherwise be vulnerable to seizure or freezing. In a global landscape where Western countries have frozen assets of nations like Russia and Venezuela on political grounds, India's message is loud and clear. No one will be able to dictate terms by holding India's wealth hostage. Modi may be preparing for something bigger than we imagine. Amid regional tensions and the recent U.S. intervention in Bangladesh, India's cautious but strategic buildup of its own gold reserves may hint at preparation for regional power shifts. This move to secure its gold is about ensuring India's sovereignty and fortifying its economy against potential international power plays. This isn't just about reclaiming wealth. It's about reclaiming autonomy, security, and influence on a global scale. So, what's the bigger picture here? India could be building a financial buffer for a future where it has to defend its borders, stand firm in the face of foreign interventions, or assert power in its neighborhood. This isn't just about a few tons of shiny metal. It's about fortifying India's autonomy, protecting its economic sovereignty, and possibly preparing for a power play in South Asia. India's not just stacking gold, it's stacking chips in a high-stakes geopolitical game. Thanks for joining me today on the Geo-Politrick Guy. If you think the world of geopolitics is heating up, stick around, subscribe, and let's watch these global events unfold together. Share your thoughts below. Is India preparing for something big? Until next time, stay tuned, stay curious, and stay informed.